Good morning, Stampers. Happy Sunday. For today's Facebook Live, I will be featuring products from the July to December Mini Catalog as we count down to release day, which will be on Tuesday. I'm not using any celebration products, but I am going to point out something from the celebration brochure today. And let's see here. My name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Alberta, Canada, and I am excited to be here and have been here with you for the last few days as we count down to release day. So if you've been joining me, then you've seen the samples, but if you haven't, let me just share a peek at what we've created so far. So we used a celebration product on Thursday, this gorgeous dahlia stamp set to create this sympathy card. We used some of that beautiful or great craft paper. I wouldn't necessarily say it's beautiful, but I love the craft paper that's in the mini catalog. These dots are from the mini catalog. This beautiful ribbon is from the mini catalog, so you'll definitely want to check back. You can find all of the replays for these videos easily on my YouTube channel. Then on Friday, we used the Peaceful Deer bundle to create this fun background, and we used several different products. The DSP is something that you can earn for free during celebration. The Wonderful Gems are a returning favorite from last year's holiday catalog. We used the seasonal labels dies, which we're also going to use today, and then this beautiful deer bundle as well. And then yesterday we did a fall project and we used the Gorgeous Leaves bundle, some of the gold shimmer vellum. Again, you see those dots. These are the same dots as these, just in a different color. And then we used a greeting from a stamp set that is available for free during celebration. Okay, so today we're going to go back to Christmas and we are going to use the Christmas season bundle. Let me take this out of the plastic so you can get a better look. So I used these dies on that deer. Let me just pull it back in here. On that deer card. So I used these two here. I embossed the front one. We're going to use those again today. And then we're going to use the coordinating stamp set. So this is a stamp set that is part of the Painted Season or Painted Christmas suite that's on page 18 of the catalog. And it's one of those mega suites where there's two bundles. So this one features lots of images, and then there's a stamp set with another die set. It's called Christmas to Remember. It is also available as a bundle, and it's also part of that suite. And this one has a bunch of words. And I think at Christmas time, Christmas and birthdays, you can never have enough greetings. Greetings for the inside, greeting for the outsides, because you want different ways to wish people a Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. You want different greetings for the inside, and same when you're wishing somebody a happy birthday. You don't want to just always say happy birthday. Sometimes you want to use different words. Okay, so I think you can never have enough greetings for those two occasions for sure. So this one you can find on page 19, and then I'm also using the Merry Melody folder. So this is a kind of a music themed embossing folder. This you can find on page 42. We're using some mini ruffled ribbon in real red. This is part of the gingerbread and peppermint suite right at the beginning of the mini catalog. And then we're going to use the Wonderful Gems again. So these ones, if you missed my last Facebook Live where I used these ones are going to get lost in the mini catalog. They are on page 62 and they're pictured kind of right up at the top towards the fold of the catalog. And I just think that they're going to be overlooked, and they're too beautiful to be overlooked. So you want to check those out if you didn't get those last year or if you don't have any left. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Slide all this stuff aside. Okay. So my card base today is Garden Green, just a standard size card base, 5.5 by 8.5. Good morning, Mary Liz. Good morning, Dixie. Good morning, Kim. Good morning, good morning. Happy Sunday. I've gone ahead and I have used the Merry Melody embossing folder to emboss another piece of Garden Green. This measures 4 by 5.25, and we're just going to attach this on here. Okay, and that's going to go right in the middle. Good morning, Betty. We're creating a Christmas card using the Christmas season bundle from the upcoming mini catalog. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of white, and we're going to use the pine cone images from that Christmas season stamp set. So I've got, okay, so now let me pull in the stamp set. So this is a two-step stamp, which means that there's a more solid image and then another detailed image that gets stamped over top. So we're going to use both sizes of pine cones, and we're going to stamp, let me move these ones aside. We're going to stamp the solid ones first, or the more solid ones first, and we're going to use crumb cake ink. There's the big one. And the small one. And then we're going to bring in some early espresso, and we're going to stamp over top using the more detailed dies. And I love these pine cones because they're very forgiving. It doesn't matter if you don't stamp them perfectly. They still look good. And then the big one. And our pine cones are stamped. Might want to stamp another pine cone on the inside, but we'll close this up for now. Okay, and then we'll use the coordinating dies to die cut them. So if we pull in the die set, we've got this guy here, which will cut the large one, and this guy here that will cut the small one. And of course, I've got that already done. So there are my two pine cones. So I'll pop these back on here so I don't lose them. Okay, and then I've also used this die set to cut out a couple of the label shapes. So I used the large one. I love this large one. I used this to cut and just cut it from some white cardstock, and then I used this one here to cut out from white cardstock as well. And I'm going to pull in a greeting from the Christmas to Remember stamp set, and I'm going to use Have a Holly Jolly Christmas on the outside, and then I think I'm going to use this May this be a May this be a Christmas to Remember and Cherish on the inside. So we're going to bring back our early espresso. And this is going to go on this way. Hopefully it's straight. Yeah, that turned out okay. All right. And then on the inside, we're going to do this guy. And now let me think here. Yeah, we'll do it in this color. This is another great one to use your markers with as well. I love using my markers when there's a variety of fonts because it's kind of it's an easy way to put a little bit more emphasis on those scripty words. Oh my gosh, look how crooked that is. Okay, this must not be mounted on my block straight. Let's see, how did I do this? Okay. Or it's mounted on my block straight and just not, the rubber's not straight. Let's see here. I better stamp this on scrap first since this is my second side. Okay, let's see. Try to line it up at the bottom. That just goes to show you that I am not a perfect stamper. A lot of people think that I don't make mistakes, that I do it perfectly the first time, every time, but that is not the case. You wouldn't believe how long some projects take to make. That's still crooked. Okay, let's see. I think I can work with that. I'll stamp some leaves in the background and we won't, it won't be as noticeable. Okay, that one's way better than the first one. Okay, so now we're gonna bring this big label shape in, and we're gonna bring some garden green, and I'm going to use one of the leaf images. I didn't even get this in the center, like up and down either. Okay, so this guy we're gonna ink up with garden green, and we're gonna stamp it in 2 spots right on our label shape. So one about there. Another one there, and let's bring that in here. There. Now we won't notice so much that it's crooked. Beth says she's noted for doing things crooked. Yeah, exactly. Then you can, there's always a solution, right? You either flip over the cardstock, you trim it to make it look straight, you stamp it on an extra piece of cardstock and then punch it out, cover over your mistake. Or I have a customer, hey Pat, if you're watching this, that always just purposely does it straight or crooked. So because she knows that she just will not get it straight, so why even bother? She just purposely makes it crooked, and that's completely fine. All right. Okay, so we'll flip this over, we'll add this to the inside. There we go. And then on the outside, we're going to take this. This is going to go on flat on the front. So I'm centering it side to side and up and down. And then this, we're going to add just some flat adhesive, and we're going to do some of this red ribbon, 2 strips of it going across. This might be too much of an angle. We'll just check it out here. Yeah, that's a bit much. Let's make this not quite so angled. Okay, that looks good. And then we're going to put a dimensional on the top and the bottom so that the ribbon, because the ribbon adds bulk, so the dimensionals will fit flat on either side of the ribbon. That's right, Karen. If it's not crooked, your friends won't know that it's handmade, right? It's a sign of a handmade card. Okay, so this guy's going to go right here and about there. So we'll have to trim these a little bit so that they fit nicely into the envelope. If they stick off a little bit, you're okay. And then we don't want them sticking out too far on this side since they're shorter on the other. So we'll trim those down to match. Okay, now our pine cones. These are going to go on flat. So I'm just going to use a little bit of seal, and we're going to tuck this underneath here. So you could leave this like this, but it's pretty plain, isn't it? But look, by just tucking these pine cones in, how much it steps it up. Oh, this guy I might have to trim. I forgot I put a dimensional there. There we go. Okay, and then we need a little bit of bling, so we'll bring in our wonderful gems, which are here we go. It's almost time to order another package of these. That's what your friend says too, Kim. Okay, so we'll do a big one up here, small one here, and another big one there, just to bring in some more of that red. All right, and our card is done. Now we should do something on the envelope. Should we do green on the envelope, or should we do a pine cone on the envelope? Maybe a couple of the small pine cones. I think that might be cute. Something a little bit different. I stamp leaves on envelopes so often, pretty much whenever I use leaves. So we'll do pine cones this time. Okay, so this is the solid one. Yeah, there's no point getting all stressed out about not having things perfect, right? Handmade cards aren't meant to be perfect. Thank you, Mary Liz. Okay, we'll come back in with the early espresso. And we're done. So now we've got a matching card and envelope. Now I wanted to share a little bit of a different version. So you may have some of the things here that you can use. Well, maybe not all of them, but I did this one for a swap, and really the only two things that were changed was I used a different greeting, and that's because at the time that I created the swap, I did not have this Christmas to Remember stamp set. So I used a different greeting. I'm just pulling out, I used the Holly Jolly Wishes, which is also a new set in the holiday catalog, but you can replace it with any Christmas greeting that you have. Even your label shapes can be a little bit different. You could replace this with a larger circle image, and then you can replace this with some other ribbon if you wanted. And then here, I didn't have enough of these dots to do all of the cards the same. So I didn't use the Wonderful Gems, which would have been my first choice because I really prefer those over the red rhinestones. But instead I used the red rhinestones, which I have on hand, and there's lots of those in a package. So if it's something that you're mass producing, the red rhinestones are a great option as well. Okay, so you can see that the card looks very, very similar. Just a couple little modifications there. All right. So that is it for today. Oh, the other thing I wanted to point out, this was the Celebration, because I didn't use anything from Celebration today. However, I wanted to point out that you can actually choose a free bundle from the July to December Mini Catalog when you purchase the starter kit during Celebration. So between August 3rd and September 30th, when you purchase the starter kit, you can add on a free bundle. So there's several to choose from. It's on page, I believe, 19 of the Celebration brochure is a list of all of the bundles, and the Christmas season bundle is one of those bundles that you can choose. So that's something to consider. If you have a lot of items on your wish list from that mini catalog, or from a combination of the mini catalog and the annual catalog, really purchasing the starter kit is the best deal. There's no obligation to do anything, and you get a 20% discount afterwards. And of course, I'm here to help you with whatever you need if you do want to go ahead and do something with it. All right, so if that's something that interests you, then just send me a message and I'm happy to chat with you. Okay, so thanks for watching. I will be back tomorrow with something cute. All right, take care. Have a lovely Sunday, guys.